Lisa's getting.
Good evening to you all, and welcome to the May Planning Advisory Committee meeting. Jenny, you're substituting for Councillor Preston this evening, so I'm giving you full voting rights on the applications.
Thank you.
Sharon is next to me, and will be advising as we go along.
I guess
Thank you.
Sorry, this one in, shall we? You put it, if you put your name in.
We don't have any members of the public present this evening, but we have you online, Lisa. Good evening to you. Are you wishing to remain mute? Right. We are not expecting any fire drills this evening, so if you do hear it going off, then we'll all leg it out of the door and downstairs to muster over the road. And just to inform you that the Town Council Standing Orders 413 in terms of reporting at meetings, that's filming, photographing and audio recording, that the full details can be found in the Town Council's filming and recording policy, which is C8. Okay, do we have any apologies for absence this evening?
As far as I'm aware.
Not as far as we're aware. Right, moving on to declarations of interest. I have nothing that I'm aware of.
None that I'm aware of?
None that I'm aware of.
None that I'm aware of.
None I'm aware of.
I'll be abstaining from 0734 and 0732.
Okay, right. So agenda item 4, which is the chairman's report. Where are we? So the first item, 413, feedback from North Somerset Council. Not able to secure replacement trees when deciding on conservation area notices. I'm not sure what this is in context to. Do you have any?
Yeah, you said anything, wasn't it?
Oh, I see.
Yeah,
In relation to that.
Yeah.
Okay. Yes, it's true. I contacted Jason Cox in relation to the removal of a tree, which is on the end of our agenda this evening, in the conservation area at Eastwood Battery Point. We'll come to that and talk about it later. 4.2, North Somerset Council's Town and Parish Workshop on the 23rd of May, which will be an online Teams meeting between 9:30 and 12. Anyone interested should email Sharon, who will put their name forward. Deadline for registering is the 16th of May. 4.3, Wrexham Phelan Neighbourhood Development Plan. Examination is now complete and the final report is available online. 4.4 is the Parish Council's Airport Association AGM, which is on the 27th of June. And that's being held in Feltham Village Hall from 7:30. I understand that this is the only time in the year that they physically meet. I think the other meetings are Teams meetings. Paul Churchill was the Town Council representative, and we have yet to appoint someone to take his place. Are there any offers? I don't particularly mind going myself.
I'm happy to. It's close to me, isn't it, really?
I suppose it's closer to you than anyone else.
Yeah.
Well, if you're offering, that's good.
Yeah,
So there we go.
That, yeah.
So make a note, 27th of June, 7:30 in Feltham Village Hall. Public participation, well, we don't have anyone. Lisa, are you planning to make any comments or? No? Okay, so the next item.
No, she said nothing.
Oh, good, right, thanks. The next item is to consider and approve the minutes of the last meeting. Do we approve the minutes of the last meeting? Have you all read those?
I wasn't here, so I can't.
Anything to comment on them?
No, go ahead.
I've been through them and they seem fine, so I'll sign them off at the end of the meeting then.
So have you got a proposer for
Yes, Roger.
Roger? Okay.
Bob,
And a seconder? Bob, thank you. And then a.
all in favour of approving those? Thank you. Right.
And that was it.
Yeah, myself and Martin were the present beliefs.
Okay, thanks. So moving on to the next planning item, which is applications. So we'll start with 0613 25 Coombe Avenue, which is proposed demolition of the existing attached garage and shed with a subsequent erection of a two-storey side extension, including a new integral garage. Okay.
Too many bedrooms.
I think we're all aware that Coombe Avenue does have a number of these extensions to the property. This has been set in numerous instances up and down the avenue. But, as was mentioned at the last meeting, it is contrary to neighbourhood plan in some respects. Is there a danger that they'll go to appeal and win it? On the grounds that it's being done so frequently up and down that
So it's one of those issues, isn't it? We're advisory, so if we advise we believe it's contrary to the neighbourhood plan, the North Somerset planning will then balance that in with all of the other pros and cons, and they will come to a decision which will be to either stick with the neighbourhood plan or to overrule it, and they'll give a reason why they've overruled it. But I think as the neighbourhood plan is here to protect what it says, then we should stick with the neighbourhood plan as being our response to it.
Yeah.
And it's not a decision, is it really, I guess, for us to make the decision was made by virtue of it, so.
it's a tricky one, isn't it? Because it currently has 2 + 1 bedroom, isn't it? Or possibly one up in the roof, we're not sure. And this will make it into a 3 from 3 to 5.
2 to 4.
Yeah, 2 to 4.
I think they've only got 2, and it's going to.
Yeah.
The original's got 2.
That was my reading on the plan.
They're going to 4, aren't they?
Yeah, the plan doesn't show that rear. Well, the flat roofed one.
Oh, flat roof one.
Yeah, okay.
We'll stick with the suggestion as mentioned by Roger.
Shall I propose we object due to the neighbourhood plan?
Yeah.
Have we got a subsection somewhere on the way?
We do. It's
I've forgotten.
it's policy PWH1, it's the protection of Portishead's existing housing stock. Read out paragraph. Development proposals that retain existing 1, 2 and 3 bedroom residential property in Portishead will be supported where appropriate. Support will not be given to proposals that would result in the net loss of existing residential use.
Was that the right policy?
There was 2 there, wasn't there?
There are 3. The extensions to existing dwellings, PWH2. Proposals to enlarge or add residential floor space to existing residential properties will only be supported where it can be demonstrated that the proposal would demonstrate how it has protected and complemented the distinctive residential character and appearance of the host neighbourhood identified within the Portishead community character statement.
It's buried in there somewhere because we found it last time, didn't we?
Yeah. Okay,
Just escaped me, sorry.
that's okay.
One interest, 25 King Road.
We're just discussing it.
Then you need to.
So 613. The one we're discussing, yeah? Did you say 0613? 25 Coombe Road.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you have a pen there, Anderson?
So it was like pen, but
I'm not allowed to keep sharp objects in my pocket.
So on the grounds of it being contrary to the neighbourhood plan, we're proposing that we don't approve it.
Yeah, it's the development proposal that will retain existing 1, 2 and 3 bedroom residential property will be supported where appropriate. That's the PWH1, which is
PWH1.
It's the one that just read out, yeah.
Yes.
PWH1.
So Roger, you propose that.
I'm sorry, no.
Martin seconds it. All in
Martin
favour?
seconded it.
Yeah, all in favour of then that.
Mhm.
You can vote.
Tim's abstaining on that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm
Yeah.
abstaining as well.
What was the number?
0613, planning
Yeah.
application.
I'll say it's excellent.
Right, thank you. Okay, moving on then to the next one, which is Hillcrest Road, 2714, 16 Hillcrest. Quite a bit of work, proposed demolition of the existing detached garage and erection of 1.5-storey replacement garage and raising the dwelling ridge heights, convert the loft. The changes are quite substantial. In, again, a street where a number of houses have been changed quite considerably over the years.
Yeah.
So precedents have already been set. They're all detached mostly, if not all of them.
Absolutely.
I don't have a particular objection to this,
No,
in the context of where it is and how it's going to look.
well, we've had a couple, haven't we?
We do.
Over the
Yeah,
months,
yeah.
in this road. And this one's no more over the top than those, I don't think. So as you say, the precedent's been set, so
Yeah,
it is quite a change, we have to say, but
yeah, it's a substantial property, isn't it?
There's a number of objections on the portal. Yeah, it's 7 in favour and 7 objecting. One of the objections details all of the sort of the opposing reasons.
Which briefly are.
Overbearing size and height, out of proportion with the area, keeping in the existing design of the current property. It's been previously significantly extended under a previous planning application. The house is located in a middle plot surrounded by properties on all sides, which means that its height and design will impact on multiple neighbours, approximately 12, I think it notes. In particular, it appears that the proposal is to increase the height of the property by nearly 1 metre across the whole depth, which will result in the top of the building being far higher than its direct neighbours in a scale that would dwarf all neighbouring properties. The increased height and length of the proposed building will significantly reduce our view from upstairs windows towards the channel, which would not only have a negative impact on quality of life, but also highly result in devaluation of other properties. There'll be a loss of light in the garden due to height and scale. Concerned about loss of privacy due to proposed new windows. Concerned about loss of privacy due to another 2 windows on the northeast elevation. So that was the northeast elevation of the house, and then there's other on another 2 windows on the northeast elevation of the garage, which would directly look into bedroom windows and to garden. The material proposed to be used for the roof is metal, totally out of keeping with the local character of the area.
Well, that's a fairly long list of substantial points.
it is.
Yeah,
No information on some of that, I have to say.
Are we going to revise our comments? I mean, obviously they live around there,
yeah.
one assumes, so it's more likely to be very much in their interests to get things right.
This is the one where we've asked for an extension anyway, Sharon, isn't it? Did we?
Yeah, it's one of the earlier ones, yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
and the extension in effect takes us to this meeting here. I'm just wondering whether a more of a formal visit would allow us to understand the actual scale.
Bigger ones, yeah.
Do you get the gist of
They're all
those?
over there.
Do you get the gist of the objections being all on that similar thing? on-
Yeah,
on the
yeah,
inside.
scale, yeah, or, yeah, most. of
Scale and
them,
height really, isn't it? That's the-
But then looking at the other houses, they're all, you know, they're all overbearing technically, because obviously you've got houses behind that, so they're complaining that they can't see.
Yeah.
It's a domino effect, isn't it?
See,
Yeah. Well, let's change that decision then.
yeah, I think perhaps we should.
So do we want to arrange a?
Range of
Yeah,
visit.
I think a site visit. It's got to be had here.
Can we do that, Sharon, within time?
The case officer will be expecting a response from us within the next day or so, because we've already had a bit of a lengthy time on it.
Hmm.
Well, I sense there are doubts in all of our minds now.
There are.
Yeah,
So-
when you look at one of the diagrams, you can clearly see it is going to change the sight line from the building behind. I think that's what it's showing.
And quite often we make the comment that it's sort of subject to the neighbourhood's feelings about it, and here clearly there are objections.
Is it good for any of the house numbers? Sometimes they, obviously,
Yeah,
there
no.
are objections to put their house numbers.
Yeah, nobody's,
I'm minded to suggest then that we object on grounds of overbearing on the neighbouring properties. In
Height.
scale and height.
Yeah.
And it's
I'd like to go and have a look at that, because the plans don't sort of show that at all, really.
as Sharon's saying, I just don't think we can spin it out for another month.
No, I think we can.
No, they won't make a decision tonight.
Okay.
Any further comments?
Just that we refer to the neighbours' objections in there.
Hmm.
Yeah, why don't
Yeah.
you note them? Why don't you note them?
Yeah, no,
No.
the neighbours' objections and then what you've said. That gives the planning officers the idea that maybe if those objections can be overcome, that they may be able to do something with it. So it gives them some more flexibility, doesn't it?
I'll send you the link, Sharon, make it easier to.
Do we have a proposer for that? I'll propose it in seconded.
Is that Mike and Roger?
Yeah, all
Yeah,
in favour
okay.
then objecting those grounds.
You objecting, Martin?
Yes, sorry.
Moving on to 0550 5 Rose Hill, proposed installation of 17 solar panels on the existing flat roof. Comments? Or
Doesn't
Yeah.
appear to have got little plan here. It doesn't.
That I know solar panels aren't popular with everybody,
No.
but they are a really good thing
Yeah.
that people should put on their roofs, and I don't see any reason why we should object to them.
No,
No.
I don't think they're that obtrusive either, are they? Because they're
no, I think the only people that will see them are the ones above.
probably.
Can
Hmm.
record.
Yeah.
Okay. Proposer for that then?
Oh, no.
Well, no, you go.
That's all
No
right. I'll
objection.
propose it.
No objection.
No objection.
Martin, Roger seconded, all in favour of that.
Yeah.
Thank you. Portishead branch line, I'm going to link the three together if that's okay. So that's 0691, 0749 and 0788.
Yes.
So all three on Portishead branch line, most of them are related to Hill. And the proposals over there, so I suggest that it's no objection as per usual.
No objections, then there you know.
Yeah, it's again, it's good, isn't it, to see
Very good.
progress on
It
this.
is.
I think this is very much in line with the one that came last month with what he said, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's
They've done- they've done-
rating.
They've done drainage around the station and they've
Yeah.
done drainage into the Pearl station, so that's great. It just shows that
Something's going.
it's still on track, excuse the pun.
It's very detailed, right down to the lighting columns. The only slight thing I thought was that one shelter for 5 people on Pill platform
Yeah.
didn't seem to be sufficient, but
No.
Network Rail clearly seems to think it is.
I'm assuming that Pill will be consulted on that and they can give their view equally as to whether or not they think that's suitable for them.
Indeed so. Okay.
There's no
No
objection.
objection.
That is from,
Proposed, Jim proposed, Bob seconded it, we're all in favour. Right, 07, I'm going to link the next two together, 0732 and 0734, 14 Wetlands Lane. So one of them is just a conservatory on the back, or removing the conservatory and replacing it with a room. And the other one is more tricky.
Yeah. I
So-
don't know why they've been allowed to split it.
No, it's brought up out as well a little bit. So can we just do the least controversial one first, which is the 32. The existing conservatory, removing that and erection of a wraparound rear side extension.
Hang on.
0732, so just bring them out of sequence, just further on down. 0732, 14 Wetlands Lane, it's on your next page,
So 0734
and 073.
is the no statutory consultation for us.
It is, but what it does is prepare then the groundwork for the one which is.
Yeah.
So it's just a question as to,
Does anyone
Right.
recall what HHPA stands for?
Householders prior approval.
Right, okay.
And I think on that basis, it's only the neighbours that can object. That's what I think,
Yeah.
but that doesn't stop us putting a comment in.
We did have this on as well as I recall, yeah.
And I think we are likely to put a comment in relation to that one.
yeah,
I don't have an objection to the former, the
No.
32.
so the
No.
34, which is the one which is the householders.
Yeah.
Prior approval. Prior approval request for the erection of a single-storey rear extension with a pitched roof that would, 1, extend beyond the rear wall of the original house by 4.75 metres, 2, have a maximum height of 3 metres, and 3, have an eaves that are 2.4 metres. So it's quite a substantial, it's a 4-metre extension in effect, which doesn't require permission.
And it imbalances the house.
Those-
It would be the only one in the street,
Mhm.
as far as I can see.
Yeah.
And it's unattractive in my
So there's quite a change, isn't it?
so I object to it.
Only. For
So
that
this-
reason alone.
This is the,
It's the
sorry, 0732 that we are,
That's the one we were going to do first, which is, in my view, the least controversial of the two.
sorry, on the sheet, people have put loads of comments against 0732, but not loads of comments against the other one.
Yeah,
And that's why I'm slightly confused as to which one we're commenting on at the moment. That was all. So 0732 is wraparound extension,
Yeah,
and that's is that the one that we're talking about objecting to at the moment?
No. No, that is what they're proposing to do on the rear. There's the existing rear. But I don't have a drawing for, can you bring up 34, please, Bill? 34, yeah. The one that shows the extension coming out of the roof, extending the roof line.
This one,
Yeah, that's the one. Thank you.
we got the original.
So that's 34.
Right, and that's the householder's prior approval
Yes.
that's being asked for on that, but this one's a full planning application for that. So are we intending on objecting to both of them?
No, my view is that we approve of that one, 32, and don't approve the 34.
But the 34 is the one with no
know.
cemetery.
I know.
The
Why?
34 is the one that we can't actually object to.
34 has a major impact on the street scene and,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
neighbours and so on.
No,
Absolutely.
it's like we're in a rock and a hard place on this one, isn't it? As to
How has
as
it
to
ended
what
up
to
like
do.
I don't know, I think you just got to put the same comment into both. There's no. Just make your
Think-
comments names, we can do, isn't it?
Hmm.
Yeah, whether it's been split up for the purpose of, you know,
It's unusual, isn't it?
yes.
But it's a bit topsy-turvy, isn't it?
Hmm.
Because it's probably known that the extension to the roof is going to have a fairly major impact on the street scene and to the neighbours, and because it brings the two properties quite close together.
But irrelevant, it's still a bedroom going to a
Yeah.
4-bedroom, which is still contrary to the
Absolutely.
3, is it?
3-bedroom, semi-detached house.
So it's still 3 going to, so we're still losing a 3-bedroom housing stock, which is still in the neighbourhood plan.
Well, most extensions do tend to be doing that, don't they? I mean, if we stick to that particular clause in the neighbourhood plan, then it's going to have an effect on pretty well all the applications
Yeah,
we deal
yeah.
with.
Minutes.
So this is a new owner's application.
I'm going to object.
So it's sold in May 2022.
Nothing, no online comments.
Nobody's made a complaint.
I recommend that we approve of 32 and object to 34. Do I have any seconds on that?
Yeah, no, I think I would agree with that one. Can we get away with that?
Well, we have been asked, obviously, as a planning application to make
Yeah.
a comment on the.
So if you've got a second for any of those proposals,
Yes, Martin.
Yeah.
That's for 32. We're going for 32 first. All in
So we're
favour?
going to object on which
so
grounds?
not object on this one,
Sorry, not object.
not object.
Not object to the rear.
0732.
Okay,
Rear roof.
right.
We got a vote on that.
All in
Just-
favour?
For clarity, sorry. 734, which is the one, which is the HHPA,
Yes.
is stating that the single-story rear extension with a pitched roof, is that what they are saying in 732 is going to be demolished as the existing conservatory? Because there isn't a conservatory as well as the extension from what we can see on the drawings.
Well, the drawing does show it as a conservatory, doesn't it?
Yeah, sure, because that's it. Yeah.
And they're extending the room out.
Yeah, but it says existing and it's not existing because that's what they're talking about in 734. Which is the prior approval of the erection of a single-story rear extension. Do you see what I mean? So,
Hasn't the conservatory already been demolished? Is that the case?
Well, it's showing on the plans. It's a
Showing on the plans,
conservatory.
being there.
it's showing on the plans as existing,
Yes.
but if you look at the other plans, it's not existing. So it's like, it's leapfrogging a step of actually creating a conservatory through the HHPA application, but then it's being looped into the wraparound extension on the subsequent one.
Not sure we understand that.
732, I've got
That's
an
not
existing
conservatory.
conservatory to the left of the dining room. But then it's a full reconfiguration of the house in the proposed one with a large extension.
Yes.
So that's the wraparound extension that goes over the top of where the conservatory was.
Yes.
So it goes all the way along the front and then down the side as well, yeah.
Just do something.
Well, it's getting a bit complicated because
It is.
the drawings do show that because the drawings do show that conservatory sitting there, doesn't it?
Yes.
On both planning applications. And it's the same drawing, 664.
So there's not, so the one that we wanted to object to, it's already there.
It is,
So it is already there.
it's already there.
The proposed extension is going to go out over the garage, isn't it?
Yes.
They're demolishing the garage, yeah?
Yeah,
So it really does come up tight to the boundary.
Yeah. Yeah, very tight.
Very tight. It doesn't sit right at all.
No, it doesn't because they're all identical.
Yeah.
and then how many bedrooms is that gonna have?
It'll be 4 now, isn't it?
So it's gonna be 4, it needs 3 car parking spaces, which is not gonna have with the demolition of the garage.
It's full.
Because the road, wetland, I mean, obviously I'm not abstaining for this, but wetlands, road's pretty tight as it is now for parking.
So you only have space for 2 cars unless they reconfigure the front garden to put 1 there and 2, one there and 2 there.
I mean, in perfect example, it just shows how.
There's no evidence on the plan of wanting to do that, is there?
No.
Although others have, as you can see there.
Yeah.
One option is to, in your response, is to confirm that you've dealt with both applications. Or you've considered both applications as a complete development,
Yeah.
and then make your comments there to both.
Yeah.
Okay.
These are new owners, they bought the house in 2022, so.
So
And
was there
you-
any vote, we didn't do a vote, did we, on that proposal and that seconding for?
So we stopped on a
Stopped,
point
didn't
of
you?
order, didn't we,
Stopped,
before the
sorry.
vote?
In light of what you just mentioned, then we'll wrap the two together and say that the existing conservatory doesn't pose a problem for us with its replacement, but the extension to the roof does,
Yes.
on the grounds that it's it imbalances the property and the street scene, it's overbearing to the adjoining property. And
Parking
Contrary,
regulations.
yes, contrary to the neighbourhood plan in terms of the loss of bedroom, 3 bedroom premises.
That same policy.
Same policy,
In there.
showing, but also given the number of bedrooms contrary to the North Somerset parking requirements.
I think
Public
the,
standards.
I think
Yeah.
the 3-bedroom one is PWH1, and the 1 and 2 bedroom one is PWH2, but it's in the note to the side of it. So I looked that up earlier.
2-bedroom is WH2 and
which is 2 as well.
2-bedroom
Stop
there.
at 1 and 2 bedroom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's 1 and 2 and 2.
So if we should we
Use
just
both
flag?
then.
Should we just flag
Yeah.
PWH1 and 2
Yeah.
as being that,
Okay.
and probably do the same on the other one if that's okay? If we can go
Yeah.
back and just flag both of those policies because they're both relevant in different ways.
Absolutely, yeah.
Did we
Thank you,
vote?
Martin.
No, we haven't voted yet, have we?
I think Mike proposed, didn't he? Who seconded?
Martin did.
Martin?
So all in favour then?
Yeah.
An overall objection?
Yes. Right.
Yep. Okay, so the next one is 07029 Beechwood Road. Okay, in my view, this is again a house which has been substantially changed over the years, and it's quite different from its neighbours insofar as it's no longer a bungalow, it's a fairly large property, particularly at its rear. This extension proposed extends the roof out further, and in my opinion is again overdevelopment of this particular property. And in the first application made in 2020, they went ahead and started the works before planning was approved. So, I don't like it. The grounds that it's overbearing again to its neighbouring properties. And it's a major alteration to the property, to the existing street scene. Any further comments? So it's got to, they're creating gradients. I think there are concerns from neighbours. I think there are 1 or 2 comments.
No comments.
No
online,
comments.
this one,
No,
no.
nothing.
No.
Okay. There wouldn't be a fire up there. The garden's already gone. It's got hard surface in the front for 2 to 3 cars, but their vehicles are parked out in the street. When you look on Google Earth.
I sometimes think that these show the difficulties that we have when it comes to planning. When you get a house that's been extended and extended and extended and extended, because every small extension it has is sort of isn't overly contentious. But when you add them all up together, where do you draw the actual line on it and say, "Oh, this is one extension too far," and it's so difficult. If it was like, if they were proposing to knock down the existing and build that, was just easier to deal with, wouldn't it? But no, I see the problems in it in itself. This one sort of smallish extension doesn't feel like it would normally be a problem, but taken as a whole on top of everything else, you know, do we feel that the line should be drawn here on this property or not? I don't have massive views in either direction, I will say.
Well, as you can sense, my view is that yes, it does have an impact. It should.
I intend to have a look, because also every other property like that.
Well, there's
so you got Moreland properties to the right of it, and then you've got one old property to the left of it, and then you've got obviously a road coming off that as well.
they're all small.
They're all small, yeah.
bungalows. Really.
Yeah.
And this one is now quite a substantial
It's
house.
like-
I thought there were some comments online in respect to the neighbours saying that they're going to lose, you know, the view through the gap and such.
I think
So-
that might have been another one that was just round the corner, because there is one with someone in some comments on someone in that location, I think.
So soon around that.
It's very nice, it's bedroom.
So it's going to come right out here, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's making the most huge bedroom.
Yeah, it's all in the roof space
All
though,
in the
isn't
roof
it?
space,
Yeah.
I know, but
Do we have any issues in relation to parking again that we need to highlight here at all?
Well, they have created off-street parking, haven't they, by removing their front garden and putting this hideous bit of path standing there. So this comes right out there.
Yeah, there is a bedroom there, presumably. I mean, this has been approved given that distance, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? It's probably a
Well,
poor previous decision.
it was approved retrospectively.
Right.
I think work had already commenced.
Yeah.
I propose refusal on the grounds of overbearing and overdevelopment of the property. 10 seconds, isn't it? Anyone in favour of that now?
Yes, I am.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
It's fine, majority.
2 abstentions.
2 abstentions, is that, who's abstaining, sorry?
Emma and Roger. So 0725 18 Drake's Way, proposed erection of single-storey extension to the front and side, the external doors. I didn't have an issue with this one. Any other comments?
Yeah, just one thing to note is that it mentions that the render to the wall will be changed to white, and that doesn't marry up with the rest of the street scene that I looked on.
Okay.
Does it? But I presume it's like that last one that we were looking at, which is pretty much keeping him in the range. But can have a look at the road, unless everybody knows what the
You know, they're going for, well, it's all white, isn't it? It's not in your face.
Yes,
It's not quite purple.
Oh, no, that's
It's
not.
it's just relevant to the street scene, really, if you know what I mean, because they're all that beige brick, but I don't know if it's a protected area or road or
No.
characteristic.
Remind me where the rendering is going, is it on the
Oh.
rear?
No, on the whole house.
The whole house.
Some of it's brick, isn't it, that brick?
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think they're rendering it over it. That's when you.
Over the brick?
And these are, am I right, these are like 1970s?
Yeah.
Ones probably with not the world's best comfortable insulation, but is this just a board going over, or are they attempting to insulate, do we know?
Doesn't say.
It doesn't say insulation in the.
Yeah,
in the
just as
thing,
all
does
quite
it?
rendered.
Yeah.
I must say, I don't have a massive objection to going away from the preformed concrete fake stone to white render.
Although I think this is just a wooden brick.
Is it break that one? Yeah?
Yeah, they're brick. So yeah, the whole house is to be rendered. Look.
I thought they were part rendered up there anyway.
No, I was
It's been
right.
a while since.
Well, it's a valid comment of yours, Ellen, yeah, I mean, we could add it to the,
For what it's worth, I don't know if it is, but it was just a comment, really. I guess.
slight concern that the loss of the brickwork might be detrimental to the
Street scene.
street scene. At least the officer then gets to note. Well, that's what we think.
So it is an objection, but it's
It's a, yeah, no objection, but just an observation that we are a bit
Observation, yeah.
concerned about that. Yeah.
okay. So who's
I would propose that, given it was me that mentioned it.
and seconder
I'll second it.
and a vote, please.
All of us.
Thank you.
Thanks, Ellen. 0742 35 Avon Way, proposed erection of a rear porch and single story rear extension. Very unobtrusive, tucked away. Again, so really,
Yeah, no objection.
no objection. No, proposal, please, no objection. Martin, Emma seconded, one in favour of no objection.
And Martin and Emma.
Yeah,
Unanimous. 3 Oak Drive, this is off St Mary's Park, and proposed erection of a single-storey front and rear extensions, replacement of existing cladding with new and existing garage door with new, creation of the recessed rear decking with glass railings and external stairwell. This is on a very steep slope. I didn't have any objection to that one.
No,
Anyone else?
There's no online objections to it.
No.
Mhm.
can't see a problem with that one, to be honest.
Okay, proposing no for no objection.
Close it.
Martin, Bob seconded, all in favour of no objection,
Yep.
unanimous.
Yeah.
Thank you. 25 Denny View, 0754, certificate of law for development for the proposed erection of a balcony to the rear of the property.
this is no statutory consultation. is it?
Yeah, no objection. No. To impose, I'll second, all in favour of no objection. Yeah. 1A Springfield Road. 1996, a variation of condition 2. This is to do with the parking. And the fact that it got refused on the grounds that it's only got 2 spaces and the North Somerset Council seem to want 3. Which in my observations are pretty impossible. And I'm not sure I agree with North Somerset Council with Highways opinion.
Yeah.
So I don't feel that we should reject this.
So we got comments, online comments, 1 support, 2 objects. On there, yeah.
Yeah, the one support saying obviously they live next door, and then the others are, they actually mentioned the, I think this was the one that mentioned the issues with the parking, but obviously we know now we've got the double yellow lines being extended down West Hill to Stony Steps anyway, don't we? But
Well, I don't think that's going to have a bearing on that corner though. I don't think they're going to bring it up to that corner, are they?
no, but it's the displacement parking that you've already got around there anyway, if that makes sense. People are parking up as far as, Yeah.
Did we see this one before?
Yes.
Yeah, we did.
And did we object on parking grounds before, yeah?
yeah,
Yeah.
So what they've done now is removed a section where I think there was dedicated a recycling area or something like that. And they were gonna replace the fence with a wall or a wall with a fence or something, but now there will be 2 spaces in front of the house and 1 to the side of the house, and the recycling bins moved.
I think you're at the wrong end. I don't know where you
Yeah,
are
okay.
actually. It's right.
Yeah.
It's a very awkward site.
On West Hill.
Oh, on West Hill.
Yeah.
Follow the
You're in
bus.
that.
Follow the bus.
Hang on, that's where you are.
Are they still proposing,
See, why are I those?
are they still proposing 2 spaces?
No,
on
they're,
this one?
they're proposing 3 now, yeah.
So you tell me to go on Google Earth, it's rubbish.
Yes, there's pictures here of the area.
Yeah,
Yeah, and it's an awkward one to deal with. Parking's really bad there.
Yeah.
isn't it?
Well, it varies. Sometimes it's absolutely fine, and other times it does get a bit congested. My view on the extension of the double yellows from Stony Steep up to the corner was to hopefully get rid of the problem of people straddling the pavement on that bend.
Yeah. So it's this now is a house.
Right,
So in effect, they've got 2 parking spaces in front and 1 at the side. Yeah, but yeah, the last page on Google Earth is just a bush.
But the trouble is, by doing that, you're getting shot of the 2 spaces that used to exist there.
I mean, if there is nowhere else for them, there is no other option for them to propose, because that's all that they've got, which is their property, so.
Yeah, because the garden falls away very steeply.
Yeah.
And even getting that 3rd space in there is going to be a nightmare for them if they ever.
So I don't think there's anywhere for us, there's no, if we object, we haven't got a solution.
No.
So I think it is what it is, unfortunately.
And then again, it's not for us to find a solution, it's for us
No
to.
point.
Yeah,
I mean,
no,
you know, North Somerset will probably continue to raise their objection on highways and parking provision anyway, won't they, regardless of what we do.
yeah, but the objection online, seems, the objection says that, I can't understand why this house should be exempt from having a minimum of 3 parking spaces. But the proposal is for 3 parking spaces.
I think the highways consultation document here was probably done before this new plan. came out.
Yeah.
So they've obviously they've read that, they've put this new plan.
Yeah,
So I mean, I would say, okay, they say that they can get 3 spaces in there. And we've asked for 3 spaces, so
that's it. It's-
so we should say, yes,
Yes.
they can do that.
Yeah.
And then it's down to highways to say whether or not it's
Awesome.
legitimate
Yeah.
to gain access properly to those 3 spaces.
Yeah.
So did I just propose
No objection.
no objection?
Yeah.
Yeah,
You
okay,
did.
I propose no objection, and now we go.
Have you got a second then?
I have no idea.
Why is it sending you? Why is it sending you?
You see that line?
Did you want a
Yes.
seconder for that? Yeah, I'll second it.
Thank you. All in favour then? Thank you.
There we go.
Right, lake planning applications 0728, 87 the Downs, we found it. And as houses on the Downs go, this is a relatively small one, and they want to extend it over the top of the garage, and create another bedroom.
I think
I,
had a query on this because they've gone from 3 to 4 bedrooms again. Haven't they? They've converted the garage to a bedroom. So they got 4 bedrooms now instead of 3.
The only reason why I mean, I've had a look at this one and I'm not sure whether it's the only premises I can see in that cul-de-sac area that's actually not been extended in this fashion.
Yeah,
Um,
true.
it's got plenty, it's got off-street parking, it's got a garage. I'm not sure in this sense whether it's a valid
I'm
objection, really.
I agree with you, and I feel the same as you just expressed. It does show still a garage below the bedroom,
It does.
so we assume that there will still be provision for a car in some garage.
There is one online comment requesting that requesting assurance that the rear bathroom window will be glazed with obscure glass as it will overlook my back garden. And the house is situated at a higher level than my house. Maybe that was made today, that comment.
Yep, that point.
Are we considering approval
Subject to that.
subject to neighbours' comments?
Yeah,
I think so.
Sounds reasonable to me.
Valid neighbour comments? Or just neighbour comments?
There's only one comment.
There's only
It's
one
about
comment,
obscure glass in a bathroom window, which sounds
I think so.
eminently sensible, doesn't
I think
it?
so.
For everybody's sanity, yes.
Yeah, I don't know.
Right, it's
it's one of the
It's cul-de-sac.
yeah, it's one of these ones.
it's in the bottom of this one, so it's that one.
This one here.
It's the stand sideways, but there's a rotate button. It's much
Yes.
better. Well, it's not like this.
Was taking you on this again.
I'm assuming they've got obscure glass in the existing bathroom.
On the other side.
Which will remain.
Okay. So the next one is Aldi.
Can I just check who proposed that?
We didn't,
Sorry, get Calvin Gormez.
we didn't get beyond thinking that there may be a proposal for that.
I
yeah.
can propose that one.
Good, I'll second that, there we go.
Right.
Sorry,
All right, no problem.
Right, so that was for no objection, subject to neighbour comment regarding obscure glass and back window.
yes.
Yeah.
Good.
So Aldi 0763. Replacement plant, air source heat pumps, gas coolers up on the roof, which will be visible. It will have an effect on the visual amenity of the roof.
This one came in, what, 2 days ago?
Mhm.
Can we ask for an extension?
Do we need an extension?
I think so.
That's it's going to happen, isn't it?
Think
We
so.
want to shift all this stuff up there on.
It saves it from damage, it saves it from, potential vandalism,
Yeah.
it's gonna go up, I mean, I don't know you need to be 20 metres tall for it to have any impact on.
I think so.
Will they make noise? That's the thing.
Well, there's a good noise
There
report
is a noise report.
online, and they've done testing and such like, it's very quiet.
Well, all I'm thinking is that we haven't had any opportunity for the neighbours to comment on it and to see what
Yeah.
the thought was. And we might, as we've only had it for 2 days, we might be just sort of running ahead of ourselves. That's my only concern, that, you know,
Yeah, yeah,
whether or
yeah.
not we want to allow time for that. But ultimately, it's probably, as you say, it's probably going to happen anyway. But, you know, how do we want to play it, really?
Well, you're asking for an extension, do you get a seconder for that?
So shall
You
I-
have
I'll
asked it.
propose extension.
Yeah, well, it doesn't matter to me either way.
Yeah,
Yeah, fine.
okay.
So we're all in
Yeah,
favour of having an extension to that.
It's
period.
one comment online, but it's relating to the parking change.
Yes, I noted that too, which is irrelevant. Right, 1984 then, back to Waterset Keys. Relocation of existing brokerage office, and we have now established that we're just dealing with the brokerage office. You're not
Yeah.
the pontoon,
Not the
and you're
rest.
not the hideous gate they're proposing. And I think we've already been through this, and we've already accepted the fact that the pontoon doesn't pose a major issue to us. It's the
The
existing,
brokerage office.
yeah, no, it's the existing little build, a square, a rectangular wooden building they just want to put into a new.
We had a lot of people along to this meeting, didn't we?
We
A lot of
did.
people
Yeah,
online.
Yeah.
And they were all quite clear that they didn't really care about brokerage
Brokerage
office. They were all concerned about the pontoons, which are
Yeah.
now missing from this plan because they've
They are.
withdrawn them, yeah.
Yeah.
And subject to them remaining withdrawn,
Mhm.
I have no issues with it.
No.
And I'd be happy to propose acceptance.
Yep, second,
Second it.
Tim, all in favour then, we remove the change.
What we want to make sure, Sharon, is that we add in there that
I've just put
It's-
here, consider the amended plans that only include the relocation of the broken office, not the pontoon or security fence stroke gates.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Make it as clear as
I certainly
possible.
can read my mind.
Still in.
Or we mentioned it earlier before the meeting started, yeah.
As an observation, I walked up East Keys yesterday up this side, and there were quite a few empty berths. I was quite surprised. Along the way up to top. Right.
Maybe they've all shifted their boats to the Mediterranean for the summer, or Cardiff.
Bits in that ring.
Right, agenda item 9.1, North Somerset Council's rural strategy, which I read this afternoon, dealing with what we do expect, really. You know, I've made a few notes. 30% or 32% of North Somerset residents live rurally, and 60 of the 65,000 of us in North Somerset. And of course, they're aiming to be fair and green, and connectivity is an important part of the strategy, and having good representation from the local rural community. Where else? A couple of comments. So what are they looking at? Things like mobile libraries, lateral flood defence works, restoration of areas deemed necessary for improvement. Public rights of way, that's quite an important one. Green belt protection. That's affordable housing provision, it's quite an important one, particularly on new developments. And if there are new developments, then the connectivity and the transport links into the other rural, other urban areas. Developing cycle paths and routes such as the peer-to-peer. It's a pretty small and shortish project.
Yeah, I think I'd just like to say that this was proposed down at North Somerset. some months back when we were doing the strategy for North Somerset, and the strategy tends to sit around Western-super-Mare, Pointshead, Cleveland, Malesay. And there was certain feelings from, I think it's Anna Mika, who's done this on a council way, who lives in Dundry, and therefore a rural community, and said, like, why don't we have a rural strategy? And the answer was, go on then, it's in your remit, off you go, get us a rural strategy. So she's put this together in a relatively short space of time, and it's out to consultation. It's not getting the same level of interest at consultation that the parking charges are, amazingly, but it's been really well received in the outlying areas, and the intention of this is to make sure that they're not forgotten. So we're sort of a town, and it doesn't really apply to us.
No.
But if you go that little bit further out from where we are, it applies to the people around us. And I think that it's been quite well received, and I think it's a really good move that someone actually stood up for our rural area.
Yeah. And Sharon sent me the link this afternoon, which I looked at and read. It's only about 6 slides, so it is worth looking at. And as Roger says, it's well constructed and written. So the consultation closes on the 31st of this month. So yes, the recommendation is to consider the rural strategy and submit observations, whether we want to do that as a committee.
Yeah,
We
we
did
don't
discuss
know.
it briefly in community matters last week, didn't we? And I think we suggested that, given that we've got until the end of May, we might just ensure that we've got at least some comments related to sort of connectivity between rural conurbations and those which are under the other plan, in that sense, the other strategy, which I can't remember the terminology that we used at the time, but yeah. So I think it's I think that's all we mentioned.
I've obviously had to give my observations down at North Somerset when it comes up for us there. So it's really for the town council, or probably, as you say, community matters to make it.
Leave it with us.
Yeah, fine, I'm happy about that. Yeah, I mean, it's a relatively short duration for the strategy. It's only until 2028.
Yeah, it was just making sure that the placemaking strategy is the one that covers the towns, or the ones under parish council, isn't it? So or town council rather than parish councils and the strategy. So yeah, that's fine.
Okay, good. Agenda item 9.2, which is just a notice about the road closure on Clapton Lane on the 4th to the 6th of June. Temporary closure on Clapton Lane at the rail bridge. Wasn't by that one. Wessex Water obviously doing some work there.
Is that a limited time one? It's not closed for 3 days. It's closed during the day.
Yeah,
Yes,
I've had
9:30 and
to
2:30.
4:30, yeah.
Oh, that's too bad, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's going to be awkward for some people, but at
Unless
least it's a relatively short time period. Yeah.
it's a weekend as well.
How is it?
Yeah.
Oh, well, that's
So,
okay.
no,
Are we
just gonna note it.
noting?
Yeah, it
or-
was noted. It
Yeah.
recommended to consider the road closure and just observations. So lastly, then, the 3 tree issues, one of which is the one I mentioned earlier. 0720 75 Woodhill Road, the felling of a holm oak, which is at the top of Esplanade Road. It's, in my view, it's quite a prominent holm oak. And it's coming down. Yeah, I wrote to Jason Cox about this, and he responded and said that basically he felt it was he hadn't been to see it yet, but looking at Google Earth, he felt it was a little bit close to the house, and it was very unlikely that he was going to object to it. The adjoining tree, which is this beautiful big fir tree, is TPO's. That's a short cuttlefish. But he's the one that will make the decision, not me or us. So then you have your list of the applications that went through last month, and then in the office there is information regarding the Parish Council's Airport Association again, relating to a planning application of 0615. Do we know what that one is? No. I haven't checked that out. And the PC.
Interestingly, I saw that 222 Norwood Down Road rather been removed with Planet Client, is that right?
Yes, it has.
Yes.
So
Good. Sorry.
I imagine that the 0615 must be in relation to the next bullet point, which is the removal of the green belt from the airport.
It's a proposal to create new airport boarding gates and a bridge link to the existing central pier.
That's that planning applications, and it's 061.
Yeah, the
Oh, fine.
proposal is a consultation request under the provision of the town and country planning. Blah, 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 to proposal to create a new airport boarding gate and bridge links.
Change that, can we? Should we want to? No.
I don't mind if they're out up there.
The parish council's airport association has considered the proposals and accepts that the works proposed fall within the town and country planning, and therefore does not object to the works. So the parish council airports association submitted that comment on the 8th of April.
Far worse things have happened up there, haven't they? In terms of loss of green belts and extension of car parks and things. Right, moving on. Well, that's it, isn't it?
Oh, can I just say, sorry, I was on that and just skip back to the applications which have been determined. If you look up the application after it's been determined, I just would like to know, because I checked it. If you look up the application after it's been determined, if North Somerset have gone against our determination, it's in the notes, the reason why they went against it. So that is in the notes. We can look it up and we can see the real reason why they didn't do what we told them to do.
Okay.
Which just might be useful sometimes if you look at it and say, well, they keep going against us. Why is that? We can actually look it up and see, because maybe we're not pushing the right information into them, or maybe we're just asking something that's unreasonable. I don't know, but at least it's in there. I was quite jumpy up and down a bit in North Somerset to make sure that was being incorporated in, so that we all had an option to look at it. I asked them if they just email it out to us saying what it was, but they said it's in the report. You have to read it.
Fair enough.
I just thought I'd let you know that one, because it's a good thing to be able to look at.
Right, well,
Matters for next month,
matters from the next meeting.
any?
Are there?
No.
No.
Apart from Luke, no, not, unless you want anything on it.
No. I don't think so. No. So the next meeting's on the 5th of June.
Oh, I'm not gonna be there. I'm on holiday.
8:38.